Hey guys, it's Josh from Crossworld TCG, and I'm bringing you guys an Android 13 deck profile. I got the idea from TheCardGuyz. Spoofy did a list, but he played the veggie package, and I thought the veggies were too expensive and that the deck didn't actually need them, so I decided just to make a more budget version. The leader, Android 13, when you have a 14 and 15 in your grave, he awakens at 6. And then when he awakens, anytime during your turn, when your opponent's Son Goku or battle card with cost 6 or less is either discarded from their hand, critted off their life, or sent from their field to the drop area, he gains critical. So like the entire deck is built around triggering that effect, so he pretty much gets critical every turn. It's a strong effect, incredibly strong in the game, especially in a deck like this that's meant about denying your opponent hand advantage. The main way you deny them hand advantage is with this card, Unending Destruction, Android 13. When he enters play, your opponent chooses a card and pops it, and then anytime that one of your skills makes your opponent put any card from any other area into the drop area, you make them discard a card, except by his own effect. But it works if you have a different one on board, so they can go back and forth and make your opponent discard their entire hand. The way we cheat them out is with the 4-drop Dawn of Terror Android 13. For 1 green, you can put an Android 14 and 15 from your drop area with this card and evolve with a 7-drop Android 13 from your deck. So you do that. Also, when he enters board, he also makes your opponent choose a card. So you can really dismantle boards in the same turn that you're making your opponent discard all the cards from their hand, making it an incredibly strong combo in power play in the deck. Moving on to the Android 15s, we play 4 of the Just Saying Hi. He's a 3-drop, making him incredibly strong, and just makes your opponent discard a card, which can end up making him discard 2 if you have the 7-drop. And then I play 2 of the Unfeeling Destroyer Android 15 just to see the Android 15. He's a very similar effect to this one, except if it's a cost 4 or more, you draw a card. That effect is very easy to play around and stuff, so it's not worth it to play this guy over this guy because the extra energy ends up coming up a lot of times. For the 14s, we play 4 of the Combination Attack Android 14. When you combo with this card, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and destroys it. It's very similar to Goten, except it's not limited to 3-drop or less, but your opponent gets to choose. But when you make them choose multiple times, eventually you'll get to the cards that you want them to destroy. It's an incredibly strong card. I thought it wasn't as good at first, but then during testing, I just realized that the card is actually just super strong and insane. Then we play, for the other 14s, we play 2 Unfeeling Destroyer Android 14. When he enters board, when he enters play, he makes your opponent choose a card to destroy as well. You play him. All the games he's your late game because he's double strike for only 4 cost. But that's your 14s and 15s and 13s and such. So then we go to consistency cards. So create Android. This is probably the best consistency card in this deck because you draw 2, and then you can discard your 14s or 15s to set them up in the grave for this effect and for the Union Absorb. And then you play 4 Dr. Giro, Evil Inventor. He's a scientist, not an android, one of the few non-android cards in the deck, but he scries 3 as any android. A lot of times you're scrying you're adding this, or you're adding your super combo, or you're adding any missing pieces that you need, or the Black Mira. And then I play 4 Terrible Creator Android 20. Again, he's super strong. He does cost 2 energy, which can be a lot just for a search card, but he can add your super combo straight up, or you can add any piece that you're missing. He ends up being very clutch, just getting the pieces that you're missing, helping you deal with stuff, helping you deal with their hand. Just a strong card. And then the super combo himself, the Stout-Hearted Android 16. Instead of drawing a card, you make your opponent discard a card, which will end up making a chain reaction, make him discard a bunch of cards and such. In this deck, it's the best super combo, and he just works so well with the deck. And then I play 3 Relentless Destruction Mira, make him discard card. The reason why I only play 3 is because you really need yourself in the drop area so that way you can awaken at 6 and do your Union Absorb. So a lot of times what you're doing is you're Union Absorbing, taking those cards out of the drop area, and then dropping this right away. And then the next card I play the Dreadful Duo Android 18. I don't play the 17. I don't think his effect is good enough. You have to have 2 cards in hand, and there's not a lot of space. But this one can technically, if they put a card that's 4 or more in their graveyard during that turn, you can pay 1 and pop a card that's 3 or less. So she can potentially end up triggering your big guy twice in a turn. So it's a strong effect in himself. And then you play 3 Iron Hammer of Justice, Android 16. This and the super combo, and then the speedy surprise attack are the ways that you end up triggering your big guy during your opponent's turn. This one's probably the best one, but this is a fine combo as well. He also, a lot of times you want to drop him turn 3, especially if the deck doesn't play any kind of removal, because you drop him turn 3 and then you can tap out for this play turn 4, and then do this turn 5. So yeah, so that's usually how you want to be doing it, kind of thing. And then the last cards I play are 2 Furthering Destruction Champa, just to gain, because your leader has crit most turns, getting double strike on it is pretty strong as well. So that's the deck. It's Android 13. It's very budget, and it's very, very potent. It can beat most decks as long as you can successfully slow the game down to the point where you can make your turn play 5. The first 4 turns, you're really just trying to play defensive, and you're trying to just set up your plays for later in the game. That's it.